All right.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, my name's Steve. I'm with Small World News.
Hi, Steve.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
What's your name?
Dan Kaufman. I'm with Crank My Chain, Cycle TV.
Okay, cool. And so what's going on with this interesting rig you have right here?
Well, what we have right here is the disco trike, and what it's holding today instead of the sound system is the, and I'm just going to check real quick. Yeah, okay. Sorry.
It's cool.
Just got to make sure that people let me know. Oh, see, like for example, like use the mic.
Oh, so no one could hear.
So yes.
So wait, so right now, tell me what just happened. You got a message on your phone?
Yes. Yeah, so I got a text on my phone, get a little beep beep beep, and then it just says, yeah, use the mic, Dan. Some other folks are saying, you know, do high shots, you know, get the crowd, get signs, that kind of thing.
Okay, okay.
So then I can do that. But what we have today is the mobile broadcast unit, which is we're using a video camera to connect to my laptop computer. We use a 4G card to get mobile internet, and we have a microphone, wireless microphones. And I also have a battery inverter because this takes a lot of juice from the computer.
So right now you have a video camera that's running live to a website?
Yes.
Interesting. What's the website?
The website's crankmychain.com.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And anyone can just tune in there to see what you're doing and kind of give you feedback too, and the comments go straight to your phone.
Yeah, well, the comments, actually, I get comments on the computer, which I can check less frequently, but like friends who have my telephone number, my number is pretty public. Okay. People can text me and say, hey Dan, you know, do this or that, or you've gone down.
Yeah.
It's spotty, but it's, you know, I used to say it's bleeding edge, you know.
Yeah.
Now it's maybe kind of bruising edge. It's getting there.
Okay.
Know, so.
And how do you feel about the content that's coming out from Occupy Portland? Like, would you consider yourself a part of the movement?
I would, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm a non-biased media person here today. I started following Occupy Wall Street almost from the beginning, during the blackout section, which, you know, it's funny, Jon Stewart said it went from media blackout to circus. I'm glad it's a circus, and it should be a circus, because this is a movement that represents people all over this country, from small towns to large cities. It represents just about everybody. I think it represents everybody. People are saying 99%. I believe 100% of the people in this country would benefit from utilizing the tools of our government and the tools of the corporations to our best advantage, rather than just a few. And so I'm definitely in support of this movement.
Interesting. And do you think, why did you choose to kind of go this route as far as, you know, all the headache of dealing with a wire? I mean, you have a pretty complicated setup here. You're running tape, you have a wireless mic, and you're running it all through Wi-Fi. Like, that's pretty intense.
Well, for Crank My Chain Cycle TV, I wanted to be able to broadcast remotely from bicycle events, because we definitely believe in the bicycle as a way to liberate Main Street. And so I use all these resources. I'm a video professional. I cover events. I cover weddings. I do commercials for people. Anything like so. I have all these tools already. It's just a matter of kind of putting piece A, piece B together to be able to cover an event like this. And I also, I also sell my services to do this as well.
Yeah.
The trike is great. It can go as slow as you want, so I was able to roll along with the crowd. Couldn't do on a bike.
No.
But then I could pop out, zoom around, and then, get in front, get to another location really quickly. I could use the road where the police wouldn't have let me. So
interesting.
It's a great vehicle.
So what do you think about, do you think the goals of the movement, which is now growing into a nationwide movement, do you think the goals are clearly stated in the media that they're putting out, as far as the Twitter feeds, the Facebook groups, and all those kinds of things?
I like the fact that the goals of the movement were a little bit amorphous at the beginning, and that it is being tightened up a little bit. But I think the thing is if, for example, if we say, like, one of my goals is liberate Main Street. Okay. And by liberate Main Street, I mean literally liberate Main Street. Main Street has been being used for cars. They basically own the road at the expense of everybody. And yes, all of us are are motorists at some point or another in our lives. But the 8-year-old can't use the roadway. The elderly, the blind are not safe and comfortable on our roadway. So, for example, that's kind of my thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I wanted that to be part of the message, but I don't want it to be the only message.
Right.
I think the big message, and maybe the #1 message that I would like to see, is that we need to end corporate personhood.
Right.
If we can get a constitutional.
Do you think that's? But do you think that? Because the movement as a whole has not picked a goal yet.
Like a #1 goal.
Right. But do you think, as far like I still feel like it's a little unclear as far as what they're thinking is the process to even get to that goal, other than we're having general assemblies. But I think that whole process is still a little vague and unclear. And I've been paying attention to it, but I don't know if you feel like it's unclear. And if you don't, I was wondering maybe where you think it's the clearestly is. Where is it stated clearly? Is it stated clearly on their Twitter? Is it on their website?
I think it is somewhat unclear, and I think it should in some ways remain a little bit clear and amorphous. I think that's important.
Right. We got some pens going up. Interesting.
Yeah, they're closing things off a little bit here, but okay, so. Yes, you can go to the Twitter feed, you can go to the Facebook feeds, the websites and such. It's not one person being led by one movement. It's not just one thing. And I think it's important that we don't force it to have to be in a box, because as soon as you put it in a box, then they'll blow up the box. Right? So I think that that's important. What's great.
But don't you think that they need to make it more clear that that is the goal? Because I feel like saying that isn't the goal, that we're not picking a goal, is a little, I don't know. It's a dodge, and I just feel like it's interesting because I don't know. It's just from an outsider's perspective, I think it's kind of like, I agree with you. It's an interesting tactic, but I think they need to communicate it more effectively. That they're not picking a goal on purpose, not because they don't have a.
Well, they do have their statement of grievances.
Yeah.
And I think those are all things that a lot of us can agree with.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, that's
fair.
I mean, and I think you make a good point. And one of the things that I think is going to happen with this movement as it grows is that we're going to give political cover to folks like President Obama. He has been having to play both sides, and he's been having to be, he hasn't been the person that we want him to be, because we haven't given him the cover to be that person. Now, when you have thousands of people marching through the streets in every city across the nation, in small towns, and you get this movement, and people are like, we are done with the stranglehold that corporate America has over the country and the unfairness of it, then I think you will find that he can then speak louder.
Okay.
So that's one good thing that could happen.
Yeah. Well, thanks for your time, man.
Thank you.
And what was your name again? I'm sorry.
It's Dan Kaufman.
Dan Kaufman. And what's the URL?
Crankmychain.com.
Okay.
And PDXK is my business.
Cool.
So